3, 2, 1.
Hi, in this video of practical tips for rocket engineering, we're going to take a closer look at the pressure relief valve. Pressure relief valves are devices that you can add to your feed system to ensure that if there is ever an unexpected spike in your pressure, that a dangerous situation does not occur, the pressure relief valve will open, okay, and it will allow some of that gas or fluid to expel without causing a hazardous situation to arise. So this is what a pressure relief valve can look like. Okay, you will have part of the pressure relief valve which will attach to your pressure system. Okay, and then inside here you have a spring and poppet that, if the force of the gas or the pressure of the gas is great enough, it will force the poppet on its spring upwards, and then that will open a gap for gas or fluid to be then released through the exit. So don't connect both parts up to your feed system. One part needs to go to your vent, okay, in your venting system, and the other part needs to go to your actual system which is being held at pressure. So let's take a closer look inside. So here's the pressure relief valve. We can take off the cap, and what you'll notice is that there is a coloured spring and also a poppet, okay, at the actual sealing face of the pressure relief valve as well. So what we want to do is we want to just put that back in there, making sure it's the right way up in our pressure relief valve. And then what you'll notice is that this is a very brightly coloured spring. Now, in this case, this is to help us know what pressure ratings, okay, that this pressure relief valve is good for. And we have different coloured springs. Okay, notice these are slightly larger. These are supposed to be for a larger pressure relief valve, for a half-inch system, which the one that I just showed you was for a quarter-inch system. We've got different coloured springs to denote using the pressure relief system at different overall pressures. So the only times that you would take the housing off is really if you needed to change the spring, okay, for a different spring rating, or a different pressure rating, I should say, and then also if there was some dirt or grit in the poppet and it wasn't sealing properly. But most of the time, okay, you would just keep that on. Now, to set the pressure that you want for the system to work at, you would turn this housing at the top, and that effectively compresses the spring down and applies some holding pressure to it. So you would then do this up, and then you would do a number of practical experiments where you know the amount of pressure going into the system, and you would tighten this up, okay, until you got to a pressure that you were happy to work at. So let's say you wanted to set this at 40 bar, or you wanted the system to work at 40 bar, and you wanted the pressure to be released just over 40 bar. You would tighten this up, okay, and then you would do a number of experiments, slowly increasing the pressure until you got to a point that at 41 bar, let's say, that this would crack open. Once that's in place, okay, once you found the pressure, you will notice that there's another nut here which freely moves. You tighten this up, and then you would react the two together to make it a nice tight fit tightening. And then if you wanted some additional measures, you'll notice that in this particular case, all right, there is a small little hole on the top housing, and there is a small hole on the main body, and then you could wire lock the two components together, and that means that there's no chance of this effectively twisting off and changing your pressure setting. Okay. Good practice whenever you are having or installing a pressure relief valve is to have two pressure relief valves in parallel with each other. Set one pressure relief valve 1 bar above the pressure rating. So if we were looking at a 40 bar system, you would set the primary pressure relief valve at, let's say, 41 bar. And then you would have a second backup pressure relief valve set at something like 42 bar, okay, next to it. So if one of these failed to open for whatever reason, you would always have a backup system. So always have two pressure relief valves in parallel in your pressure feed systems wherever necessary. If you've liked this video, please like and subscribe.